Good morning, students. I welcome you all to the today's e-learning session. Okay, in this session we will be discussing on module 5, that is kinematics. You have already studied these things. Okay, so let's start with the introduction to dynamics. Dynamics, it is the branch of science which deals with the study of behavior of body or particle in the state of motion under the action of force system. Okay, again dynamics is subdivided into kinetics and kinematics. Okay, kinetics is nothing but it is a branch of dynamics. Okay, and it also deals with the study of body in its motion state considering the force applied on the body. This is important. Okay, then kinematics is also a branch of dynamics, and it also deals with the study of motion of the body without considering the force applied on the body. Okay, this is kinematics. Okay, in this chapter we will be considering the kinematic study of the body. Okay, so when I say study of the body in its motion, we are mainly studying about these parameters. First parameter is displacement, velocity, acceleration and time. Okay, so let's discuss some of the technical terms. Okay, so the first one is motion. What is motion? A body is said to be in its motion if it is changing its position with respect to a reference point. Okay, so then second one is displacement or distance traveled. Okay, it is very you all know these things. Okay, so displacement is a shortest path traveled between the 2 points by a body. Okay, so it is a vector quantity as the both magnitude and direction are involved here. Okay, so the displacement can be positive or negative. Again, distance traveled, it is a actual path traveled by a body between 2 points, so it doesn't involve the direction, so it is a scalar quantity. Okay, so next one is velocity. Velocity is nothing but rate of change of displacement with respect to time. Okay, so it is denoted by rate of change of displacement with respect to time. Displacement is x. Okay, so as it involves x is displacement, x itself is a vector quantity, so definitely velocity will be vector quantity. Okay, so next, average velocity. Okay, so when a body is traveling with different velocities at different instances, okay, so then the total average velocity considering all the velocities can be represented as v average, that is average velocity, that is sum of all the velocities divided by the number of instances. Okay, so next is instantaneous velocity. Okay, so this is, it is a velocity of the moving particle at a certain instant of time. To calculate the instantaneous velocity, delta x is considered as a very small. Okay, so instantaneous velocity is nothing but a velocity of a body for a very particular or very minimum time interval. Okay, so only it is saying delta x is tending to 0. Okay, so the next one is speed. Speed is nothing but rate of change of distance traveled. It is not displacement, it is a distance traveled by the particle with respect to the time. Okay, so next, the important one, acceleration. Rate of change of velocity with respect to time is called acceleration. Okay, so rate of change of velocity with respect to time. Okay, but velocity is nothing but rate of change of displacement, so we can write acceleration as d square x by dt square. Okay, double integration of displacement. Okay, it is a vector quantity obviously, then unit is meter per second square. The unit of velocity is meter per second. Okay, so next, this you have already studied, that is Newton's laws of motion. Okay, Newton's first law, second law and third law. First law deals with Okay, so the first law is every body tries to remain in its state of rest or in its state of motion until and unless an external force is applied on it. Okay, this is Newton's first law. Okay, then Newton's second law talks about momentum of the body. Okay, so the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the applied force. Okay, from this equation we will get this one, F is equals to ma. Okay, so the last Newton's third law is very famous one, that is for every action there is equal and opposite reaction. Okay, this is about all the three laws of Newton. Next one, sorry, when we say motion of the body, the motion of the body can be broadly divided into three types. First one is rectilinear motion, second one is curvilinear motion, third one is projectile motion. Okay, so rectilinear motion means the motion of the particle or a body in a straight line is called as rectilinear motion. Okay, the motion of the particle in a curved path is called as curvilinear motion. Okay, you all know projectile motion. Okay, body thrown into the space. Okay, that is projectile motion. Okay, so in this session let's discuss about rectilinear motion in depth. Okay, and also solve the equations of derive the equations of motion, and then solve the numericals on the equations of motion. Okay, when a particle or a body moves along a straight line path, then it is called linear motion or rectilinear motion. Okay, so equations of motion along a straight line are v is equals to u plus at, v square minus u square is equals to 2as, s is equals to ut plus half at square. Okay, you are familiar with these equations of motion in a straight line. Okay, so let's derive these equations now. Okay, sorry. Okay, derivation of equations of motion by method of integration. Okay, so when it comes to the derivations of equations of motion, there are mainly three methods to derive the equations of motion. Okay, first one is the general method, second one is the integration method, and third one is the graphical method. Okay, but here I'll be deriving the equations of motion by using the method of integration. Okay, so this is the popular one, method of integration, and it is the most asked derivation in the examinations also. Okay, so I am concentrating on method of integration. Okay, so before starting with the derivation, consider a body moving with the uniform velocity, uniform acceleration a. Okay, let u be the initial velocity of the body, v be the final velocity of the body, and t be the time taken by the body. Okay, so you have considered a body already which is moving with the uniform acceleration a, and it has started with the initial velocity u, and it will end with the final velocity v. Okay, and the time taken for traveling is t. Okay, so with this one, okay, motion with uniform acceleration is given by, previously we know that acceleration is nothing but dv by dt, right? So it can be written as dv is equals to a into dt. Okay, so let's integrate it both sides. Okay, by taking integration on both sides, since here the variable is dv, that is velocity, it varies from initial velocity to final velocity. Okay, so since here the variant is dt, that is time varies from 0 to final time, that is t. Okay, so after integration of dv is v. I think you know these simple integrations. Okay, then here in this part a is a constant and t is a there is a is a constant, so the constant integration of constant is nothing but t itself. Okay, so after integrating this, Okay, substituting the limits, we will finally get the equation, that is v is equals to u plus at. That is the first equation of motion. Okay, secondly, we know that v is equals to ds by dt, that is velocity is nothing but displacement by time. Okay, so now from equation 1 or equation a, we know that v is nothing but u plus at. Okay, so I have taken v is equals to u plus at is equals to ds by dt. Okay, so ds is equals to, by taking this side, ds is equals to u plus at into dt. Okay, again integrating on both sides, integrate the equation. Okay, taking the proper limits, then again by substituting the limits and everything, we will get the equation of motion as s is equals to ut plus half at square. Okay, so lastly, the last equation of motion, we know that a, again we will consider the acceleration, that is equals to dv by dt. Okay, for this dv by dt, I'll multiply and divide by displacement, that is ds by ds, multiply and divide by ds. Okay, so when I do that, this thing ds by dt is nothing but, it is velocity, right? ds by dt is nothing but velocity, so I have considered it as v here. Okay, again integrating this equation, integrating that equation, we will be finally getting the equation, last equation of motion, that is v square minus u square is equals to 2as. Okay, so we have derived all the equations of motion. For first equation of motion, we will be considering acceleration. For the second equation of motion, we will be considering velocity. Then lastly, we will consider again acceleration. Okay, these are very simple derivation and these are most frequently asked in question. Okay, then again numericals. Okay, so first numerical, the motion of a particle is defined by the sorry, it is not visible. Okay, the motion of a particle is defined by the relation x is equals to t to the power of 3 9 minus 9t square plus 24t minus 6. Okay, this is the relation. The motion of the body is described by that x is equals to t cube minus 9t square plus 24t minus 6. Okay, determine the position, velocity and acceleration when t is equals to 5 seconds. Okay, so first let's list out what all is given in the problem. Okay, they have given equation of motion, that is x is equals to t cube minus 9t square plus 24t minus 6, and they have given time t is equals to 5 seconds. What is asked is, first we have to find out the position, that is x, then we have to find out the velocity v, then we have to find out the acceleration a. Okay, by using the three equations of equilibrium, equations of motion. Okay, so firstly, to find out x, I'll consider the equation that is given, equation of motion given, and then I'll substitute t is equals to 5. Okay, when I substitute that, I'll get x is equals to 14 meter. Okay, so to calculate the velocity, we know that velocity is nothing but v is equals to dx by dt. Okay, so integrate the given equation once, then substitute t is equals to 5, you'll get the answer v is equals to 9 meters per second. Okay, so next, acceleration is nothing but double integration of the displacement, right? So double integrate the given equation. Okay, then substitute t is equals to 5, then you'll get the value of acceleration. Okay, second problem, this is an interesting problem. Okay, so a driver of a car traveling at a speed of 72 km per hour observes the light 300 meters ahead of him turning red. Okay, a car driver is traveling on road. Okay, then he is traveling with the velocity of, initial velocity of 72 km per hour. Okay, then he observes a this signal light from 300 meters distance. Okay, 300 meters distance. He observes it turning, it is turning red. Okay, ahead of him. The traffic light is timed to remain red for 20 seconds. Okay, the red light remains for 20 seconds before it turns to green. Okay, if the motorcyclist or the driver of the car wishes to pass the light without stopping to wait for it to turn green, then determine required uniform acceleration for the car. Okay, what should be the acceleration of the car, so that he doesn't stop anywhere, he continues to move. Okay, then again, second one, the speed with which the motorist crosses the traffic light. Okay, in second case they are asking us to calculate the velocity with which the car moves. Okay, so the given data here is a car is moving with uniform velocity 72 kilometers per hour. Okay, and the car driver sees the red light at a distance of 300 meter. Car is at a distance of 300 meters from the traffic light. Okay, then the time taken by the light to turn green is 20 seconds, which means that the time taken by the car driver to pass the signal is 20 seconds here. Okay, because he'll not stop anywhere, he'll cross the signal as soon as it turns green. Okay, it turns green at the 20 seconds. So time taken by the car driver to travel or pass the signal light is 20 seconds. Okay, we have been asked to calculate the acceleration, then speed, that is velocity of the car. Okay, first of all, the very important thing here is initial velocity is given as 72 kilometers per hour, but time is in seconds, 20 seconds. Okay, so first convert this velocity u into meters per second. Okay, you all know that 1 kilometer is equals to 1000 meters. Okay, then 1 hour is equals to 60 minutes and 60 seconds. Okay, so calculating it, it will comes out to be 20 meters per second. Okay, so we have the distance s here. Okay, so I can consider the second equation of motion. Okay, that is s is equals to ut plus half at square. Okay, using that equation, substituting all the values given, that is initial velocity u and time taken t as 20 seconds, we will get the acceleration, that is minus 0.5 meters per second square. Why we are getting minus? Minus indicates retardation. Okay, negative acceleration is called as retardation. Okay, then we need to find out the value of velocity v. We have a, we have t. Okay, then I can calculate v by using the first equation of motion, that is v is equals to u plus at. Okay, by substituting the values, I'll get v is equals to 10 meters per second. Okay, so the next question, sorry. Okay, a motorist starts with initial velocity. Okay, a motorist starts with the initial velocity and he takes 10 seconds to cover a distance of 20 meters. Okay, time taken by a motorist to cover a distance of 20 meters is 10 seconds. Okay, and 15 seconds to cover a distance of 40 meters. Then he again continues and takes 15 seconds to cover a distance of 40 meters. Find the uniform acceleration of the car and the velocity at which at the end of the 15 seconds. Okay, so we have been asked to calculate the uniform acceleration of the car and the final velocity at the end of 15 seconds, that is v. Okay, so we know that since distance s is given, we have to use the equation of motion 2 or third equation. Okay, both consists s. Okay, since we don't have v here, Okay, we cannot use third equation, we will use the second equation. Okay, so s is equals to ut plus half at square. Okay, so this problem is divided into two steps. First step is till the 10 seconds time, then second step is till the 15 seconds time. Okay, so distance traveled in 10 seconds by using this s is equals to ut plus half at square. Okay, I don't know the acceleration here. Okay, so I'll consider this equation as equation 1. Then distance traveled in 15 seconds. Okay, so here also I don't know the value of u, what is initial velocity. Okay, I also don't know the value of a, that is acceleration. Okay, again I'll consider substitute the t, that is 15 seconds, and distance s is equals to 40 meters, and then I'll take it as equation 2. Okay, I'll solve these both equations, equation 1 and equation 2. When I solve both the equations, I'll get acceleration is equals to 0.267 meter per second square, and the initial velocity as 0.664 meters per second square. Okay, so we have already calculated first parameter, that is acceleration. So now we need is the final velocity at the end of 15 seconds. Okay, so velocity at the end of 15 seconds can be calculated using v is equals to u plus at. Okay, so finally it comes out to be 4.669 meters per second. Okay, so these problems you can solve with using in multiple methods, also by using other equations of equilibrium also. Okay, so the last problem, a car is moving with a velocity of 15 meters per second. Okay, velocity of 15 meters per second. The car is brought to rest by application of the brake. Okay, in 5 seconds. Determine retardation distance traveled by the car after applying the brakes. Okay, so the important given data here is a car is initially moving with the velocity of 15 meters per second, which means u is equals to 15 meters per second. Okay, then they have told the car is brought to rest. Rest means the final velocity v is equals to 0. This is very important. Okay, then time is given, that is 5 seconds. We have to determine retardation, that is negative acceleration. Okay, negative acceleration is retardation. Then again we have to calculate distance traveled by the car after applying the brake. Okay, once the brake is been applied, the car travels to certain distance. That distance s has to be determined here. Okay, so to calculate the retardation, we know the first equation of equation of motion, that is v is equals to u plus at. Okay, so here since the car is brought to rest by applying the brake, will be equal to 0. Then u is equals to 15 plus a into 5, that is time is 5. Okay, so we will get negative acceleration as minus 3 meters per second square. Okay, and then we have to calculate distance traveled by the car after applying the brake, that is s. Okay, so s is equals to ut plus half at square. By using this equation and substituting this acceleration a, I'll be able to calculate s. S is equals to 37 point. Okay, so s is equals to 37.5 meters. Okay, so this is the end of the today's session. Okay, along with this I'll be attaching a few more problems, solved problems. Okay, please go through those problems also. Okay, so thank you for listening. So this is about the rectilinear motion of the body. Okay, thank you.